Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Northwest Craftsman. Recently I put together a video on getting a chicken area set up for the chickens that we're going to be getting soon. They're on order, they should be here pretty soon. But in order for me to finish that, I need to get a chicken coop ready. So today we're going to be going through and building the chicken coop, and it's going to be starting from just an old horse stall, and then we're going to be transforming it into a coop, and I'm going to let you guys follow me along the process. So, alright, here's what it looks like to start. Alright, so as you can see, this is just an old horse stall. Basically, you've got the door that opens up right here. In order for us to turn this into a chicken coop, I'm going to need to remove everything that's here on the floor, get that out of there, stabilize this post. It's not really secured, which is why we've got a rope just temporarily across there, so figure out a way to stabilize that. And then I need to put a wall up, and we're basically going to do a wall from there all the way over to here, kind of stair-step it up into this beam right here, and then have it come across. We'll have a wall. Do corrugated sheet metal roofing all over the top, and then out here, this may have to be a separate video. We'll see how long it takes to get this done, but we're going to have an overhang. So we're basically going to have a couple of beams that sit in the ground right here, and then we're going to have that corrugated sheet metal roof come out over the top so that in the winter the birds have a dry place to be, and then in the summer they also have a shady place to be. But here's also an update for what it looks like out here in the chicken area. Really like the way that this turned out. It just looks really, really beautiful. But none of the grass is coming up yet, but the sprinkler is watering it nicely. It's nice and damp. But enough of this. Let's get on to this. Alrighty, there we go, and with all of this cleaned out, new board put in up at the top, stabilized all the way across to this guy, and angle iron removed so that I've got a clear shot at this. It is time to go ahead and build the wall, but I need to take a break, and I'll be back shortly. So the break took a little bit longer than expected, and right now, because it's during the work week, it's going to be a little bit on and off as I'm coming through here, so if you see me wearing different clothes, that's why. But the process that I'm going to be following is basically to frame out or put a sill plate across the bottom here. And then I really want to try a more advanced framing technique that I want to try is to get a level string all the way across here and then basically measure out every single one of the studs that I'm going to need to put in so that the top ends up level, rather than making each stud exactly the same length, which means that I would be matching the grade across the concrete right here. For a chicken coop, not that big of a deal, but I do want to practice it because it is something that will allow you to get your tops much more level. Alright, here we go. Sill plate, measure, frame. Alrighty, so quick interruption from the Timelapses as we're going through for an update. For you guys, it's going to be no time at all. For me, it's the night, and I need to go to bed and go to work tomorrow, so it's going to be maybe a day or two before I get back out here. But to give you guys some of the learnings that I had thus far, one, when you're doing these concrete inserts, make sure that your dimensions on the hole are as close to your calculations as possible. This was exactly the amount of concrete I had, and I put about 6 inches of dirt back into that hole over there. So make sure you do your concrete well, and then add a little bit of buffer on there just in case. Two, string lines. This fluorescent line works really well, but take just a little bit of like rebar, string some lines all the way across as you're doing it so you can make sure you get everything lined up. These two are not perfectly aligned with this, but they're good enough for what we need to do, and they're just supposed to keep the 4x4s off the soil because it's going to get pretty wet anyways. On the doors or on the framed wall, this is really close to not needing a header because the width on it is just barely over the 24 inches on center, and the only reason I'm doing 24 inches on center is because this is totally not load bearing. It's just going to have some of the sheet metal on the top, but I don't know, not a ton of lessons learned on the wall. That framing went just about as I expected it to, just because I had to get into that nook. I couldn't do the whole thing on the ground, which is why I needed to do the top separately. This guy is going to be for some ventilation, and then once we get the OSB hung up there, we'll cut out the slots for all 3 of those, and then the door, and then we'll also do a chicken door, which is going to go right in here, build some steps and stuff, but yeah. Anyways, there's a quick update for what things look like right now and some of the lessons learned. Enjoy the rest of the time lapses, and we'll get back to that. Alrighty guys, moment of truth. 3 weeks of morning and night hard work. Mostly just because I've got a work schedule that I've got to work around. And here's what it looks like. It's a little bit dark in here. We might need to put a light in. But I got chicken wire up all the way around the perimeter, all the different cracks. We've got a new roof right over the top of this. We've got a wall. On the wall, we have both a small man door, maybe more akin to a hobbit door. And then we've got an automatic chicken door, which we've been checking, and it is opening morning and night, just like it's supposed to. We already have the setup for the chicks, which are going to be coming in just a couple of days. Eventually what's going to happen is they will get out of this when they're big enough, and this whole entire area is going to be a deep litter. We've got one of 3 roosting bars set up, so we've got one that's going to come from that corner all the way over to here, and basically it's up 1 foot, back 1 foot for each one of those, with about 2.5, 3 feet of space here on the top. The idea behind having these guys up here is for draft, so that they've got some fresh air that can come through at the top but won't keep them too chilled in the winter. If we need to block some of those up, we can when it gets too cold out. We just kind of need to see how things look. So is it beautiful? No. But is it perfectly functional? I think so. So that's what it looks like inside. And then stepping through our hobbit door over here, we come to the outside. And I'm loving the way that this turned out. This shady area over here should keep them nice and shaded and protected from the elements when they need to be. You can even see from the sprinkler can get all the way over to here, but you see that it doesn't get under here anymore because this is like protecting it from the rain. It's great. One disappointing thing, if you saw our initial video, we planted all of this with grass seed about 3 weeks ago, and nada. There's absolutely nothing in here, so we need to figure out what's going on. We think the dirt may be a little bit too compact, but we're still trying to figure out what exactly is going on there. So not a huge deal, but we'll figure it out. But overall, I mean, as I had said, it was like 3 weeks of work to get this guy all put together, but I am stoked with how this guy came out. I think the chickens are going to like it, and again, I learned a ton throughout the entirety of this process, and that was really the most important part, is we've got something functional for the chickens, and I learned a lot so that eventually when we move to a place of our own, I can make the chicken coop and chicken area exactly the way that I want it, and this is all a learning process, so we're going to figure it out as we go. Well, I learned an absolute ton on this project. If you guys have any questions about what I did as I was going through here, please leave them in the comment section down below. And if you're seeing anything that could be a potential pitfall to our new chickens, I would love to hear it in the comment section. It's possible that we've done enough research and I might have a response to it, or it could be something that's totally brand new. And I want to learn those different things, and my wife and I want to learn about those different things from all of your experience, and as we're just going through this process. So I'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below, and keep following us for the journey. If you want to see more of what we're doing here, go ahead and give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and the little tiny bell notification icon will notify you when we have new episodes. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. I don't know, my normal send-off is go make some sawdust or go do something, but in this case, unless you're planning on getting chickens, I would just say go do something good for you and your family. So thank you guys tons. Have a great one. See you next time. Bye. As a total side note, because my car's in the shop right now, this is how you carry tools around between the barn and your workshop when you don't have a car. Anywho, good seeing you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.